Hey, Scott.
Hey, Nick.
Oh, what's up? Why do you look so down?
I can't believe Back to the Future Minute is over.
Hey, it's okay, man. You got Spider-Man Minute. You got the Doctor's Companion. What more do you want? What? You want your favorite scientist and little assistant? You want to do Doc and Marty? Right? You'll get over it. You'll be fine. Oh, who the hell put this on?
It's on random.
For God's sake.
Look, it's not that I want to keep doing Back to the Future Minute forever. I'm just trying to say that I need something a little more. I want to get out there and do interesting stuff, podcast a little, and I'd love to be able to do it with you, but I want you to want to do it too.
I agree. We should get out there, but what can we do?
Well, how about a cornetto?
A cornetto?
Edgar Wright's Cornetto trilogy. First, we'll start with a bite of Shaun of the Dead. Then, we'll take some shots of Hot Fuzz, and later, we'll wrap it all up with a couple of pints at the world's end. How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!
The Cornetto Minute, the daily podcast where we take car, go to Mum's, kill Phil, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, and have a nice cold pint 1 minute at a time.
It all blows over starting with Shaun of the Dead this October at duelinggenre.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dueling Genre.
Welcome back to Rocky Minute. We're the daily podcast that analyzes the movie Rocky 1 minute at a time. I am Doug Greenberg.
And I'm Jason Haynes.
And with us again, we have Sully from Sully Baseball. How you doing today, Sully?
I'm great. Hey, I want to say one quick thing before we get going here.
Go for it.
I introduced the Rocky movies to my kids. My kids are 12 years old. I introduced them to when they were 11. And I was really worried because to show them the first Rocky film, I was about their age when I saw it, but like films are so rapid fire today. And I was really worried that this film, which is obviously I love it, but it's a relatively slow movie. And I was wondering how my kids who were raised on, fast-paced cartoons and everything, and they were watching, they were quiet. I couldn't tell if they were bored or not. And then by the time the fight was going on, they were jumping up and down like they were watching a real fight on TV.
No kidding.
The moment I knew that they were into the film and they got it was the scene when he was walking Marie back home.
Little Marie.
And then, and she says, "Screw you," and then walks away. And my son Aiden just said, "That wasn't nice. Rocky was being good to her." And I said, "They get it."
Yeah, no kidding.
They get it.
That's
And by the way, when they saw Rocky 3 and Mickey died,
oh, man,
they had tears the size of cantaloupes going down, just streaming down their face.
I
couldn't tell if I was the best dad or the worst dad in the world if that I exposed them to that. But yeah, this film still works for a new generation. It's by all definitions, it's timeless.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, my son's still a little young. He's 7, and I went right to Rocky 4 with him because I knew that was the most action-packed, and he loves that movie. As Scott Corelli said last week, Rocky 4 is about 80% montage, so it's tailor-made for kids, Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I showed him Rocky 4, and it was the scene. Rocky 4 is a 20-minute movie, and there's a scene when Rocky is really sad. He got in a fight with Adrian, who, by the way, is by Rocky 4, she's completely abandoned her Adrian persona, and she's just Talia Shire. So they might as well just be calling her Talia at that point. And Rocky gets in his car and he just starts driving around, and they play some Michael Sambello song or something.
There's no easy way
and yes, thank you. And while that's going on, they start showing clips. And my son Aiden, who was like, I think he was 11 at the time, he just sort of says in a little snarky voice, well, we're going to watch some more clips again.
Yeah. And they show the same punch, 10, 12 times in that one song, the knockout punch.
And it's like they got a bunch of clips and they hit shuffle. I mean, they didn't even match. They didn't even match to what was happening. I almost expected the clapper or a boom mic to fall in at one point. It's like that they're showing bloopers like at the end of a Burt Reynolds film. It's like what are we even doing here?
Well, we'll have to wait a few years to cover that one.
My kid, by then my kids will be old enough to be on here. So there you go.
There we go. I'll get them on for the montage. One of the 3 montages. But today we're covering minute 12 of Rocky Original, which starts with Rocky defending his unfortunate joke, and it closes with Rocky walking along a loading dock. So Gloria calls Rocky out for his bad joke, and he tells her inventing jokes isn't so easy sometimes. His take on the English language. It's not making up jokes, it's inventing.
It's inventing jokes.
But you could just really see his balloon just deflating in this.
And by the way, what isn't deflated in this scene is Gloria's hair. If you just see, that is classic. That's the type of 70s hair that you don't. When they talk about 70s hair, they'll either have something. It'll be like the film. What was the film that was with Christian Bale and Jennifer Lawrence? What was that? American Hustle? Was that what that was?
American Hustle, right?
Yeah, American Hustle. Yeah, and everyone has this wild, Bradley Cooper and Amy Adams. They all have this wild 70s hair, and Jennifer Lawrence. And what most 70s hair was like Gloria's. It was up. It was a little messy. It moved around way too much. Her hair reminds me of so many moms from, because I was 4 when Rocky came out. She looked like a mom from my nursery school.
You could definitely tell the type. And for sure the carpet matches the drapes.
Well, I'm not going to go there, and I didn't go there when I was 4. But there's no attempt for her to be glamorous or Farrah Fawcett here. She's just Gloria. This is the way her hair turned out. She's going to be taking care of the hamsters. So,
well, we finally get introduced to Butkus, but Rocky hears the dog bark.
Yeah.
He's probably grateful for the interruption too, because he couldn't be more happier to see good old Butkus.
Right.
And it's another part of the flirting, though, when you think of it. He tried the joke, that didn't work, but he's going to show he's compassionate with the dog. I mean, he's just showing that he not only loves the dog, but he has there's a kinship with the dog that pays off later, but that you see that. This dog is in this cage, is in jail.
Like a cage that's almost too small for him. He's a giant dog.
I would say Hannibal Lecter was more comfortable in that little gurney that they brought him out at. The poor Butkus is in this cage here. And then he does the little Tarzan yell, and it just makes him more. He may not be funny, but he's endearing, and I think that comes across.
Who sees a dog and greets the dog with Tarzan noises?
I wonder, because everybody knows that this is Sylvester Stallone's dog in real life.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Tarzan call is a thing he just does to his dog.
Probably.
Oh, maybe it is.
I hope so. Otherwise, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah. I know, it's pretty random. But Stallone says that they didn't have money for a movie dog because their budget was so tight. So he used his own. He's a 150-pound bull mastiff. And it's what Stallone said about it is it's an adult dog in a pet shop full of puppies. But nobody questions it. Like, nobody wonders why there's an adult dog in like a puppy shop, or it's just there. They let it breathe, and they don't have to explain it. It's just, that's how it is.
It's one of the many things in this movie that is better because it was a low budget. There are things in this film left and right that they didn't have the money to have a lot of extras in the ice skating ring, so they just had it be him alone with Adrian and the guy yelling how many more minutes. It makes the scene so much better. They didn't have enough money to do certain, they only had X number. They couldn't do the Paulie throwing the turkey scene out more than 1 or 2 takes. So he had to really nail it, and there was a sense of energy to it. They didn't have, they messed up the banner where they inadvertently reversed
the poster.
The poster. They reversed the color of the shorts, and that led to a wonderful moment. Was it the poster's wrong? Where he's obviously distracting himself, and it made it for a better movie. The robe came out too long, and he was like, and all these things which are like, oh, they didn't have the budget to do it right, made it better. The guy throwing the fruit to him while he's running because they just had one camera and the guy threw it. It made it better. And it's the sort of thing, if it was a big budget movie and they could make everything slick and everything right, it wouldn't have that sense of authenticity, including the detail of a dog that he has a real-life connection with. The dog has a real-life connection with him.
Yeah. It's all it's stuff that you can't write. It just happens, and it's natural and beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we got Gloria again. The hits keep coming.
Oh God!
As she sends Adrian downstairs to clean the cat cages.
But you see though that she keeps looking back. He looks at her, and then she sees that he looks back, and she quickly looks down.
Yeah, it's a very
and they throw each other. Yeah, they throw each other enough looks that she kind of like, all right, It's not failing, Rocky. She knows you, and she wants to take another look at you.
Right.
Yeah, she gives him one last one before she disappears into the dungeon.
But this Gloria, here they are. They're having a moment. They're having a nice moment, and it's like she does it on purpose. Like sends Adrian to not only to like sends her out of the room, but to do something like demeaning, like go downstairs and clean the cat cages.
They're a mess.
And she breaks up the nice moment that's going on here. Like you feel like Gloria probably has a miserable life. And now she doesn't want anybody else to be happy. So here she's going to ruin this nice moment between these nice young people. And she even after Adrian starts walking away to clean the cat cages, you can see Gloria looks at both of them and shakes her head. You'll see it here. She walks away. He looks at her. She's going to put her. They have the final glance. Where you could tell they're interested in each other. And then Gloria kind of shakes her head, enough, Gloria. Let them be happy. Let them have their moment. Let them talk for a minute.
What a bitch.
Well, do you know what actually kind of reminds me is that how I said in yesterday's show that in a way Paulie represents what Rocky is kind of destined to become.
Right, yeah.
Well, she's probably destined to become Gloria. Like that's probably who she's going to wind up being. Working at a store, kind of being cynical, being cynical at the idea of love or finding someone. And that's one of the nice things that this film does is that it doesn't make it overt. It's just this is who you're going to be.
Yeah,
your hair won't be the same, but that's basically who you're going to be.
But she's got a lot of nerve insulting Rocky, calling him Rockhead. Like, damn, Gloria, you're just a miserable woman.
Yeah, pretty much.
That last look Adrian gives Rocky right before she goes on the stairs, she looks at him. She wants to smile, but she doesn't want to. She gives him a very half smile. It's a very sincere look.
She plays that part perfectly. The shy, withdrawn girl.
Yeah, and her being in the movie adds a little bit of. I mean, I know she wasn't a big movie star, but the fact that she was part of The Godfather, and she got an Oscar nomination for it, for Godfather 2, and there's that connection to. I mean, we must remember Rocky was a just minuscule budget film, but having these little faces that remind you, sort of bring you into the success of The Godfather, I think adds a little bit of gravitas to this little movie that could. But the fact that she, there was, even though she got an Oscar nomination for playing Connie in Godfather 2, there was a little stigma to her in that she was Coppola's sister. Like, how did she get the role? Yeah. Well, she's the director's sister. Well, this is her. Yeah. Francis isn't directing this movie. This is a film for her. So maybe some of that, the baggage of I'm the director's sister who got the job, comes across in the same way the baggage of, I wrote this movie, this is my character, and even though you don't know who I am, I'm going to prove myself to you, is a subtext of Rocky and Stallone. And I think that these films don't exist in vacuums, and these performances don't exist in vacuums. And knowing that, adds a lot. I mean, Talia and she got nominated for Best Actress for this movie. And I think more people think of her as Adrian than as Connie.
I agree, definitely.
And, I think that's improved by the fact that Yo, Adrian is one of the most famous lines in movie history. But, but that she plays it, and that these Rocky films don't exist and aren't the enduring franchise that it became without the sincerity of this love. And I think that so much of it, and what makes this film works, is Talia Shire's performance, and you just see it all being set up in this scene, and it just makes it great.
Yeah, she had a chance to prove herself, and she killed it.
Think of all the people who the subtext of both her performance proving herself that she's not just the director's sister. Stallone writing this film and creating this. This is probably the last great role that someone like Burgess Meredith was going to get. And he has that, when he's begging to be his manager, and he kind of he leans, he tells how old he is. It's the sense of, this is my last shot. And the subtext of that performance. The reality of these actors are coming through the characters, and it just gives it a sense of authenticity that, you could. There are a lot of sports movies, a lot of boxing movies, even good boxing movies like The Fighter with Marky Mark, but it doesn't have the resonance of this, I think, because it's just dripping with sincerity and has no pretensions. And I think that's one of the reasons why it will endure so much longer. In any conversation, the greatest sports movie, it's barely a sports movie. I think of this as a romance that happens to have a boxing match at the end. And it's a workout video, because everyone has to do the Let It Fly. You got to fly now, see, so it's a workout video.
They got to run to the song, yeah.
Exactly.
I forget if it was the producers or the director. I think it was Alvinson that said, after reading the script, that this is as much a boxing movie as Gone with the Wind is a movie about the Civil War. It's just happens to be the setting, and this is what plays out amidst it.
Yeah, but unlike Gone with the Wind, the characters actually develop. I'm sorry, Scarlett O'Hara is the same at the beginning. You watch a 4-hour movie, she's the same at the end. Go, really? This is where we landed at? Was that harsh? I'm sorry, but I don't. I'm not doing Gone with the Wind minute anytime soon. So.
It's like a 5-hour movie, so I don't think anybody is.
Yeah.
So does Rocky steal the turtle food?
Well, he doesn't pay for it, that's for sure.
It says crime don't pay. When she calls him Rockhead, she tells him you got to pay for that turtle food, and he tells her crime don't pay, Gloria, and he walks out. So couldn't have done one of those quarter flips.
I think he does eventually.
He probably has a tab at the store there.
Once he gets that big $20.
Yeah, once he gets How much did the turtle food cost back in this day? Like 69 cents?
Yeah, he flips her a quarter.
Yeah.
So we cut to the loading dock.
No, man.
Great setting.
Swinging a big stick. It's like you mentioned yesterday about the feel of the docks. It says blue collar as it gets. The forklifts, the dumpsters.
Rocky has pep in his step again. He's happy again. He just saw Adrian. They just had a little moment, and he's back to happy Rocky again.
Well, I have tomorrow. I have more on what Stallone says about this scene, because we only get like a really quick taste of it here, but you can see. I mean, as a first time watcher, what do you think of? Maybe he's going to work.
Yeah,
I mean, he is going to work, but maybe he's one of the forklift drivers. I don't know.
I saw this movie for the first time when I was 10 years old, and I think I was just waiting for the boxing match at the end. I didn't even understand what was happening in this scene. And it's one of the things that I wish I saw this when I was older and I could really understand some of this. Just in this, you see, as we said, there's so much character development through art direction. Like this is the docks. You see, it's the docks. It's dirty. The forklifts are there. It's chilly. You can feel how chilly it is. It probably smells like, diesel fuel and everything. And I see this, and two things immediately spring to mind. The second season of The Wire, which is all about the docks and the police investigating the people, the dead bodies found in the tank in the canister. And I also think of, because it's Philadelphia, and this other movie came out probably 7-8 years after this, but kind of within the range, is I think of the opening of Trading Places, where they have, to the music of The Marriage of Figaro, they intercut affluent Philadelphia with blue-collar Philadelphia. And this reminds me of one of the... This could fit into that montage. When they would show, like, Liberty, Liberty Hall and the beautiful architecture, and then you see the people waiting for the elevated train and the butcher and all that. And this sort of completely unglamorous city. I think of all the places we've seen of Philly. This is just every place that makes the city run, and just in just a few seconds, it just sets it up perfectly. I don't know if you guys are from Jersey, so you probably spent enough time in Philadelphia. I'm a big history buff, so I used to go down there because I'm a big buff of the American Revolution. Is one of my favorite things to read about. So obviously Philly is a place you'd go to. But
sure.
And I used to do a lot of comedy down there and in South Jersey. But the thing, I think both Baltimore and Philadelphia are very strange cities, because I don't think there's a okay part of either city. There's either super affluent and beautiful and run, just get out of here.
Right.
And sometimes they're right next to each other. And I think that this film really just lives in that sort of the broken down on its luck part of Philadelphia, which is a big, big chunk of it.
Yeah, throughout the whole movie, you get the feel. It's not like he's going from rags to riches. He's going from rags to rags.
To better rags?
Rags to washed rags. Laundered rags.
Fair enough.
But, we've said already, I'm only 12 minutes into this, but the role that Philadelphia plays in this movie, it's like another character in the movie.
Yeah.
And we have said many times that we don't think this movie could have worked anywhere else. Like, this movie won't have worked in Los Angeles or New York or Houston, Texas. It works in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that's the subtext of, I'm not going to go too cinema studies on this, but the subtext of this being in Philadelphia, the year of the bicentennial, and the year after the fall of Saigon. And that this is kind of where America was. America was beaten up. America was down. America was poor, in the massive recession and what was going on in New York. America was like, what the hell happened? I mean, even that scene when he's looking in the mirror and he sees a picture of himself as a young kid, there's a little bit of, what the hell just happened? How did that kid get to here? And there's that sense of, we're celebrating the 200th birthday of America. The president had to resign, we've had 3 straight presidencies end ignominiously, either with an assassination, deciding not to run again, or resignation. We lost a war. We don't know who the hell we are, and we're beaten up. And in a way, Rocky and Philadelphia, and being the bicentennial, is this the whole purpose of this film is, we're down, we may be beaten, but we're standing. And you could dig in. I mean, there's a lot of I forget. I wrote. I believe it was Kevin Marr, who'd be a wonderful guest on this show. I think it was he who wrote an article about how the Bad News Bears was about the Vietnam War, and I think that this is about. And he showed his work. He backed it up. And this is not about, I don't think this is about Vietnam specifically. I think this is about everything. This is about the riots, the assassinations, the resignations, Watergate, Vietnam. What the hell happened to America? We won World War II, and 20 years later, look at us. Or 30 years later, this is where we are. And I think that symbolically, having it be in Philadelphia, the cradle, where America was founded, politically at least, where it was founded, and where was the epicenter of that bicentennial celebration, I think that it's apt. If this took place in Pittsburgh, or if this took place even in Boston or New York or another blue-collar town, it had to be Philadelphia. And I think it's because, what is it when when the promoter likes Apollo's idea and he says it's very American,
Right,
and he comes out as Washington tossing the dollars across the Potomac while doing while crossing the Delaware boat scene at the end. The subtext is there that this is about, all right, we're down, and even when you see how he makes his living, is kind of, this is what you're doing, really? It's all intermingled and about America getting back up again.
It's like saying the good guys need a win here.
Yeah, we're on a bit of a slump right now.
Yeah,
and we were in a slump in 1976. There's no getting around that.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if America gets that big win at the end of this. But for now, you can find us on our Facebook listeners group called Mighty Mix, Rocky Minute on Twitter, and we're part of the Dueling Genre family on duelinggenre.com, along with, let's see here. No, we won't see right now.
No, we're going to see.
Here we go. Back to the Future Minute, Cornetto Minute, Ferris Bueller's Minute Off, Harry Potter Minute, Jay and Silent Bob Minute, Lord of the Rings Minute, Spider-Man Minute, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Commercials playing.
Yeah. All right. And, we'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out what is Rocky's business at the docks on the next Rocky Minute.